It's an exciting time to be a Legacy, Steel, and Sorcery fan. Guys, early access update number 1 drops tomorrow. I'm so excited. February 27th, bringing the first major wave of changes. We're going to get some new stash space, balance tweaks, and some key fixes. I'll be covering the main highlights here in this video, but if you want to see the full patch notes, check the link in the video description. Let's dive right into it. Alright, to kick things off, the biggest change that we are getting in this patch is a stash tab. All of us are getting an additional stash tab, and if you're just like me, you absolutely need it because my stash is completely full as of this current moment. And so that is the biggest change that we are getting, stash tab number 4, completely for free, guys. Now, we're also getting some navigation and leashing behavior improvements, which will make many creatures not follow you so far. Which is going to be huge, right? I know we've all been looking for that. And then finally, just the devs have made numerous crash fixes. So a lot of quality of life here in the general changes. Now, starting us off with the meat and potatoes of this guide. I know you guys want to hear about the PvP balancing. Now, we got to start with Priest. And when it comes to Priest mains, you guys are going to be very, very happy with these changes. You guys are getting some buffs. So when it comes to your abilities, your Divine Mirror, there is a reduced cost to 30 energy, down from 35. Guided Star, reduced cost to 35 energy, down from 40. Heaven's Ward, you are getting reduced detonation time to 2 seconds, down from 3. And then Heaven's Wrath, you are getting increased travel speed by 30%, which this is massive, guys. And then with your Sword and Buckler, I used to play Priest a little bit. Sword and Buckler was my favorite weapon. You guys are getting an evade attack, now has action cancel in combo windows and combos into the final normal attack. So that sounds pretty cool. And also, guys, you're getting a sprint attack that now staggers off of the Sword and Buckler. So I'm very excited for these changes. I think they're very well deserved for your Priest mains, and I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun using that Sword and Buckler. When it comes to the Rogue mains, do not despair. But I will say, I'm just going to preface this by saying there is not a single buff for us in this patch. Now, I will say, speak for the entire community when I say Rogues are a little busted right now. Rogues and Warriors are doing very, very well, and so this was not a shock, right? There's been a lot of talk in the community, but when it comes to the Rogue, I just want to talk and cover the Phantom Dagger. Now, if you want to see more of the notes, definitely check the link in the description, but for the Phantom Dagger, you have the cooldown for it after teleporting increased to 12 seconds. Projectile speed reduced by 10% to 27 meters a second. Total projectile travel distance reduced to 22 meters, down from 30. Energy cost increased to 50, up from 40. Duration of the tag reduced to 10 seconds, down from 15, which is pretty significant. And then the max teleport distance reduced to 30 meters, down from 40. Reduced block damage to 1, down from 2, and then the root duration is reduced to 4 seconds, down from 5, which I think will be massive when it comes to people doing the backstab damage with the daggers and doing that charge attack. And so also when it comes to daggers, our daggers are reduced backstab damage by 5% at the 2nd and 3rd charge levels for you Rogue mains. And also I think this is, when it comes to this, right, I just want to say very quickly, For us Rogues, like I said, do not despair. I think we will still be in a very, very good place. I just think that the game, we needed these balances, and we need a little bit of, you know, just some tweaks for the rest of the community so we weren't just completely slaughtering everybody. So this is some nice balances on paper. I'm just hoping that all of these minor nerfs don't become something, you know, super, super massive where the Rogue doesn't feel very, very good anymore. But we will have to see. We will have to see in game when this patch goes live tomorrow. All right, we are now on to Hunter. Now, when it comes to Hunter, you're not getting a whole lot of changes, but I just want to explain some things pretty quickly because the first one is that your explosive seed no longer deals a knockdown, but instead a large stagger. Now, some Hunters are like, man, this sucks, but also, I spoke with a Hunter main. He says this might be a very, very sneakily good change because if you think about it as a Hunter, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get headshots and crits, right? So if you have a knockdown, you're probably knocking somebody down, and you will only be able to shoot at their feet or maybe their chest. If they're knocked down, it's going to be very hard to hit headshots. But if you have a large stagger, you might be able to get an additional headshot in, guys. So this could be a huge change. Also, the medium bow. This is the final change. Your base damage of all medium bows is increased by 7.5%. So it's not a massive increase, but this is pretty good. And my Hunter main said that medium bows might be something that he might start using now. It might make them viable. So this is pretty cool, guys. For Hunters, some nice changes. And now, last but not least, the man of the hour. You know we had to talk about him. The Warrior. And when it comes to the Warrior, we got to talk about the Deathball specifically because we all know this thing is nasty, okay? It is broken. So when it comes to the Deathball, of course, it is receiving some significant nerfs. There's reduced base damage of all Deathballs by 6%, reduced damage of evade attack by 20%, which is the double, like, kick lunge attack when he's holding it, and then also the increased number of recovery frames on the evade attack by 5. They also fixed an issue where resilience was reduced by 40% while a Deathball is equipped. And then the Flying Doom weapon special attack where he will hurl that Deathball at you and then call it back to himself. This has replaced stun effect with knockback now, reduced cost to 30 rage down from 40, and then also reduced damage by 50%. So some significant nerfs there, guys. If you're a warrior main, I'm still hoping, there are some nerfs here. I feel like it needed to happen, but I hope that the Deathball is still a fun weapon for you guys to use and is still, viable. We'll just have to wait and see tomorrow. And to wrap up these patch notes, guys, the loot. There have been some changes to the loot in the game. Very exciting. The Crumbling's Gold can now be found more often. I know it's needed for a lot of Lodge upgrades, I believe. I'm stuck on some of them because of this, so that's a big change. Also, Treasure Room's loot has been improved, so if you got some Treasure Room keys, tomorrow is going to be the time to use them. And then also, Morg'thog's loot has been re-enabled, and his Lair Veil now acts as a door that closes after the encounter is started. And that's everything in the new patch, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think of these changes. Do you love them? Do you hate them? And don't forget to check out the Morg'thog farming guide in the description if you want to score some of the best loot in the game. And also, just put the big boy on farm and with his loot re-enabled. But thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.